Trevor was a grad assistant in the weight room at UNO, and I was running track and field and cross country there at the time. And I was trying to lift a 45-pound dumbbell, which is kind of heavy for a cross country runner. And Trevor came up to me and said, "Hey, you don't really have to act like you're starting a lawnmower when you lift that up." And I got kind of mad and I said, "Well, it's just really heavy, okay?" So.
We met at the University of Nebraska, Omaha. I was a GA and she was one of the cross-country track athletes. And so it's kind of funny, like her and one of her friends I was kind of assigned to. They weren't my team, I was with swim and dive. I kind of ran the swim and dive lifts and everything, but I was assigned to watch over them when they were lifting because the head strength coach at the time didn't really trust those two being on their own. So I kind of had to watch those two as far as making sure they didn't get hurt or any of that stuff. So
I think he thought that, I don't know, because that was his job, or he just thought I was struggling. I probably just wasn't doing very well, but I thought I was. I just thought, I don't know, here's this guy who thinks he's so much stronger than me and just wants to show off, but really I probably looked pretty bad. I had seen him in the weight room a couple of times, and I just knew he was essentially there to make sure we weren't getting hurt and to fix any sort of technique that we had, but that was the first time that we actually interacted with each other. I thought he was super cute. However, I just assumed that he was that guy who liked to go to the gym and work out, and that was really it. But we started getting to know each other because we'd see each other every single day in the weight room for hours on end.
I remember probably one of our first interactions would have been when I went up to her. She was kind of struggling with rowing. It was a 3-point row was the lift. So you're supposed to kind of keep your back straight and pull up with your scapula, like get some scapular retraction as you pull. And she's going like this, using her whole body to get the weight up to here, which was what the coach wanted. And he kept telling them to go up and weight, go up and weight, go up and weight each week. So she was going way too heavy, and I kind of went up to her and said, you don't have to act like you're starting a lawnmower when you're doing this. Like just to her, so no one else really heard it, I don't think. And I think that kind of embarrassed her. She went down in weight though and did it right.
So the first date we actually had, he was looking for a church in Omaha, and I invited him to go to my church with me. And that was kind of nice because we kind of just started to get to know each other on a friend level. But then after that, I took him to the zoo, and we just pretty much walked around and had fun, then went downtown to the old market after.
Okay. We went to the zoo and walked around, then went to Spaghetti Works, and I think that was it for our first date.
I had kind of known him a lot at that point just because, again, we saw each other every single day in the weight room, and I would stay after practice and we'd just talk. But I just feel like it kind of reassured me that he was a good person and thought that could really grow into something special.
I remember one of the swans attacked me on the lake. I don't remember if that was the first time we went to the zoo or the second time we went to the zoo though. But one of the swans attacked me. It was pretty early. I mean, she was really down to earth, and she had a great head on her shoulders, and I knew pretty early that she was the one I wanted to spend the rest of my life with.
So I had actually told one of my friends on the team at the time, before I even liked him like that, I said, I think I'm gonna marry this guy. But I really didn't even like him like that at this point. He didn't turn away. When I'd come in super sweaty from a long run and then struggling through a lift, he was still interested. I don't know why, but he just pretty much had all the qualities I was looking for in someone to spend my life with and just a best friend to live with every day.
It was after we went home. We went to my parents and visited. And so that would have been December 2017, I think, was when we went home and visited my parents. And after just seeing her interact with my family and everything, I knew that, like, yeah, I definitely love this girl.
I guess I didn't have to try so hard with him. You know, he had seen me every single day, sometimes at my worst, sometimes at my best, and somehow he was still interested in me after all that. So I think that was probably what did it most for me.
Someone who had faith, that's pretty important in my life, and she's a believer, so that was good. Someone who could definitely get along easy with my brother, that was part of my family, but I mean, my he's a great guy, and just how she interacts with him, like she loves him and he absolutely loves Annie. Someone I could have fun with, like we're kind of weird together. You know, we dance randomly together and just do weird stuff like that, but I mean, it's great, it's perfect. We just complement each other really well like that.
He's incredibly selfless. He puts others before himself every single day. He always wants what's best for others, even if that might not be what's best for him. He's incredibly hardworking, and he always gives 110% of his effort, which makes him so successful at what he does. You want me to keep going? So I had gotten him a coupon book for Christmas a year before, and one of the coupons was recreate your first date, and he was very adamant that he wanted to do this the next time he was coming to town because he was working in Sioux City at the time. He said, no, we have to do this today. And so I just thought we were doing it because it was fun, and sure enough, we recreated our first date right down to a T. But then he took me to the pedestrian bridge because he's from Iowa, and we went to that Center, Nebraska-Iowa line, and we'd run into a couple of his friends, and he asked if they'd take a picture of us. And then next thing I know, I looked at him at the picture to ask if my hair was okay, and he was on the ground. And then I think I walked away for a second because I was in shock, but obviously I was excited.
So I had it all planned out, you know. I was gonna recreate our first date, okay? So we were gonna go to the zoo, go to Spaghetti Works, just like we did on our first date. And I said, hey, you know, we should go to the Bob Carey pedestrian bridge afterwards, you know, because I'm just kind of setting this up. I'm throwing out the idea like, yeah, we should go to the zoo sometime. Yeah, we should go to the zoo sometime this summer, or, you know, sometime, you know, in May or so-and-so or whatever. And I throw in, yeah, we should go to the Bob Carey pedestrian bridge in there, you know. And just because that's the one where the state line is at the middle, you know, Iowa, Nebraska, and it has written on there, and I knew that it had there. So I figured, I'm gonna do that. It might be cheesy, but I'm gonna propose there, because one of the things we've done for the past, you know, 3 years is go to the Iowa and Nebraska game, because she's from Nebraska, I'm from Iowa, and I'm a Hawkeye fan, and she you know, will cheer the Huskers on. So we go to the zoo, and I think she kind of had an idea, because I don't really get too dressed up, you know, when we do things together, like super, like ask her about my outfit multiple times and stuff like that. And I think she kind of had an idea, but I didn't propose at the zoo. So then she ends up telling me that, like, she was disappointed. But we kind of do the zoo thing. Then we go to Spaghetti Works, and that was where the night kind of took a turn for me. But I'll get to that later. But then we go to the bridge. I am either so super nervous or I am sick, because my stomach was turning and everything. And we get onto the bridge. My stomach's hurting like crazy at this point in time. I proposed. I had 2 friends coming up from the Iowa side, and they met us in the middle, and we acted like, oh my gosh, what a crazy run-in, you know, and hand them my phone, and I'm like, oh, take some pictures, and then that way we got the pictures of the moment. My stomach was hurting like crazy, and I ended up with like food poisoning or something from the sausage that was in the sauce at Spaghetti Works, and oh my goodness, it was the worst night ever after the proposal. Like, it went from, it was a great moment when she said yes, and then the worst night ever?
Next year we want to go to Disney World. Disney World and Universal Studios.
She wants to go to Disney World, whichever one's in Florida. Yeah, Disney World. So we'll probably head to Disney World when we get a chance, when we can travel and do all that stuff.
5 years, oh gosh. I don't even know. Hopefully out of my parents' basement into our own place, but I just want to go through life with him, continuing to grow and become the best versions of ourselves. And I think we both do that for one another. I think I challenge him, but I think he also makes me slow down sometimes and just be present in the moment. And I really think we've both helped one another grow into the best versions of ourselves that we could, and I'm just really excited to keep doing that with one another.
I'm hoping to be coaching here in the area in about 5 years, and she's already got a great teaching and coaching job here, so we're definitely hoping to stay here in Omaha. I'll hopefully end up getting a coaching job in the area. And yeah, as far as kids, we always joke, I want, about 3, and she's always said 1 or 2 max, but 2 or 3, kids maybe. And
Trevor, I'm so happy that you chose me to spend the rest of your life with, and I just can't wait to just keep exploring life with you and growing together every single day, and I love you so much.
Annie Lynn, I'm so thankful every day that God puts you into my life. You make me a better person, and I love you with all of my heart, and I'm incredibly excited to be able to spend the rest of my life with you.
Mom, Dad, Kim, Harold, thank you guys for being so patient with us in all of this. To all my bridesmaids and our groomsmen and our wedding party, thank you guys for being so flexible with us and for just coming together and wanting to make this day as special for us as possible, because we really appreciate it, and I don't know where we would be without you.
Give a shout out to all the groomsmen if they're able to make it, and they've been definitely helpful, and they've been really supportive of the changes that have had to be made. And a shout out to Annie, because she's done most all of the planning. So I mean, she deserves all the credit for everything that everyone's going to experience on our wedding day. Thank you all for coming, and I know it's been an absolutely crazy time in the world, but we appreciate every single one of you being here with us today.